Hey everyone, welcome back to Faith Fairly, where we explore faith topics in a fair and balanced way. Today, we're diving into a question that often sparks debate between Catholics and Protestants. Why do Catholics pray to saints? Many Protestants believe that praying to saints takes away from Jesus' role as the one mediator between God and man, while Catholics see it as asking for intercession, much like asking a friend to pray for you. So, what does the Bible say? Is this practice biblical, or is it a later tradition? Let's break it down and look at both perspectives. Catholics believe that praying to saints is not worship but asking for their prayers, just as we ask fellow believers on earth to pray for us. This belief is rooted in the idea of the communion of saints, which means that those in heaven are still spiritually connected to those on earth. The idea is that saints are alive in heaven and can intercede for us, just as believers on earth intercede for one another. Catholics argue that if we ask friends and family to pray for us, why wouldn't we also ask those who are already in heaven, closer to God? Many Protestants strongly disagree with this practice because they believe the Bible teaches that Jesus is the only mediator between God and humanity. From this perspective, praying to saints adds an unnecessary layer between God and believers. Instead, Christians are encouraged to pray directly to God. Protestants also argue that there is no clear biblical command to pray to saints, and that early Christians focused on praying to God alone. One common Protestant objection is, how can saints hear prayers from millions of people at once? The Catholic response is that those in heaven are no longer bound by earthly limitations. From this view, saints, being in God's presence, are more aware and connected to the Church than we realize. The historical perspective: when did this practice begin? Historically, asking for the prayers of saints goes back to the early Church. The earliest Christian writings outside the Bible show that believers honored martyrs and asked for their intercession. 2nd century, St. Polycarp's martyrdom. Christians collected his relics and asked for his prayers. 3rd century, St. Cyprian of Carthage wrote about saints interceding for the Church. 4th century, St. Augustine encouraged asking for the prayers of saints, calling them friends of God. By the 4th and 5th centuries, prayers to saints were widespread, and the early church councils confirmed the communion of saints as part of Christian belief. So, should Christians pray to saints? Here are the main points from both sides. Catholic view: saints are alive in heaven, aware of our prayers, and can intercede for us. Protestant view: Jesus is the only mediator, and prayers should be directed to God alone. Historical context: the practice of praying to saints dates back to the early church, but Protestants argue this was a later tradition rather than biblical teaching. What do you think? Do you believe asking for the prayers of saints is biblical, or should all prayers go directly to God? Let's discuss in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. Do Catholics worship Mary?